Yes, it's live.
Okay. So we are live now. Hello, everyone. First of all, let me start by wishing you all a very happy International Women's Day in advance. The entire world celebrates this day to mark the contribution of women in our society. The NIT Jamshedpur Alumni Association also planned to celebrate the achievement of female alumni of RIT NIT to mark this day based on the theme NITJAA celebrates women in technology and business. Although the female to male ratio has been consistently low in engineering institutions, it has been a matter of pride for all of us to know that RIT started enrolling female students right from 1960 onwards. The first lady alumna of RIT was late Sal Bala Panigrahi from 1960 batch. Though I believe that every day is ours and we should celebrate each day of life, but this is just a day when we are being given extra attention. तो क्यों नहीं इसमें मौके का फायदा उठाए और हम चर्चा करें अपने फीमेल सीनियर्स और जूनियर्स के कुछ अचीवमेंट्स का और साथ ही उनसे इस ऊंचाई तक पहुंचने तक के सफर को साझा किया जाए निटजा द्वारा आयोजित इस फोरम पर. Through this panel discussion, we want to give hope and add colors to the dreams of our coming generations. Whatever you do, enjoy it, be happy, and be proud of it. I don't want to miss this opportunity to request all of you to please come forward and sign up for the life membership of NIT Jamshedpur Alumni Association. After all, this association represents all of us equally and is not limited to a few individuals. All of us must take pride in our alma mater and its association. Life membership is a way of giving back to the institution that has significantly contributed to what we are today. So, first, let me introduce our two young moderators of the discussion today. Riya Mehta is a 2020 batch engineering graduate from NIT Jamshedpur, currently working with steel giant Tata Steel as a manager. She is true generalist with interests ranging from stock market analysis to yoga, spirituality, and overall wellness. She loves listening to podcasts and hopes to create one someday. Riya, wish you best for the same. Our second moderator is Tanvi, is a sophomore in NIT Jamshedpur, pursuing her BTech in Electronics and Communication Engineering. She is also currently serving as the Joint Alumni Secretary of the Industrial and Alumni Relations Students team of NIT Jamshedpur. She likes to read and write stories. Welcome the two young pretty girls. Now let's welcome our senior most panelist of the discussion, Vasudha Narasimhan. Vasudha ma'am. Vasudha is an alumnus of NIT Jamshedpur Electrical Engineering 89 to 93 batch. Post her engineering, she pursued her MBA in International Business from the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, New Delhi in 1995. Vasudha built a strong corporate career at ITC Limited, where she worked for 25 years and rose to become a seasoned business leader and a part of the leadership team at ITC's packaging business. She led global B2B sales of packaging and became ITC's face in the male-dominated global tobacco market and has played several critical roles across her career. Vasudha is currently working as Vice President at IIT Madras in Alumni and Corporate Relations and facilitates promotion of industry-academia collaboration with a focus on fundraising for CSR projects and research. Welcome, ma'am. Our second panelist is Dr. Aradhna Ray. Aradhna? Dr. Aradhna did her engineering from NIT Jamshedpur in electrical engineering from 91 batch. She continued her passion for studying and learning and completed PhD in electrical engineering. In her 27 years of versatile career, she has done training and consulting for firms in USA, South Asia, and Middle East. She also worked for High Power Test and Research Laboratory, ERDA, Vadodara. She is the founder and owner of a power sector consulting and service company, Lakshmi Associates. Aradhana is no name in power transmission sector, and she is part of various forums in the field of as an expert member. She is recipient of Dr. Vikram Sarabhai Young Scientist Award by Department of Science and Tech India, presented by Sri Narendra Modi. Then she was Chief Minister Gujarat in 2005. She also received Best Product Development Award by EIMA 2004. She has a patent for faulty current limiter for LT switchgear and appliances. Welcome, Aradhana. Our next panelist is Dr. Vani Shankar, again from 91-95 batch. She has completed her metallurgical engineering in the year 95 from NIT Jamshedpur, and in 1996 she joined the prestigious Bhabha Atomic Research Center, Trombay Training School, to study nuclear engineering for a year. She earned her MTech from IIT Roorkee, PhD from IIT Madras, and postdoc from University of Michigan. She works at Indira Gandhi Center for Atomic Research, Kalpakkam, where country's first sodium-cooled fast breeder reactor is getting commissioned. As a head, fatigue studies section of metallurgy and materials group, she is contributing in several important projects towards country's first fast breeder reactor, heavy water board, and India's first advanced ultra supercritical reactor programs. As associate professor at Homi Bhabha National Institute, Mumbai, she has guided several MTech and PhD students. Her expertise is in high temperature deformation and damage studies of materials for nuclear applications. She has earned several national and international awards for her work that have more than 1,000 citations. Now let's welcome Smita Srivastava.
Thank you.
She graduated from RIT Jamshedpur in 2002 with a major in computer science and engineering. She is working for the Center for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics in Bangalore and currently pursuing integrated MTech PhD from Amrit Vishwa Vidyapeetham, specialization in cyber security text analytics. During her 19 plus years at DRDO, she has participated in several projects for armed forces, starting from their inception to successful deployment. During this tenure, she has worked in the capacity of an individual contributor, senior architect, quality head to the project director. She has traveled numerous times so far to far located border areas and naval bases for system installations. Her work and research interests are mainly software development for armed forces, specializing in databases and middleware technology for net-centric operations. She has received several awards for her work and also for sports at DRDO level. She is also a member of Women's Cell and Internal Complaints Committee, which takes care of the welfare of the women employees at DRDO. Now, let me introduce you all with the amazing youngest panelist of the evening, Dr. Shreya Sandra. Dr. Shreya Sandra hails from Dhanbad and did her BTech in Electrical and Electronics Engineering at NIT Jamshedpur 2010-2014 batch. She then went to pursue her space dreams at the International Space University, France. She holds a master's in space system engineering from Skoltech, Russia, and PhD at Tohoku University, Japan. She is currently an assistant professor in Tohoku University, Japan. She is also the co-founder and director of space technology at Space Nova, a space education company in India, and director of outreach for Spaceport Sarabhai, which is India's first policy think tank. She works on various projects related to the optimization of space missions and has vast experience working with international teams to develop and design space systems. She is actively involved in STEM outreach activities around the globe. Her hobbies including dancing, traveling, and reading. Welcome, Shreya. We welcome you all
Ma'am.
and hope we will have a fruitful discussion with you all today. Now I am handing over to Riya Mehta to take it ahead. Riya.
Thank you, Bindu ma'am. Last but not the least, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce to you all the organizer of today's event, Ms. Bindu Srivastava. Ms. Bindu Srivastava had worked in Tata Steel for 15 years in the Information Technology Department, first in Jamshedpur and then in the Mumbai Wire Division. In 2012, she took a conscious decision to quit employment and take challenges at the personal front to maintain work-life balance. In 2015, taking an entrepreneurial plunge, she successfully launched a web portal and app for India Jewel Smart for a B2B business and My Jewel Smart for a B2C business. Currently, MAM is associated with a startup, KSKT Acromat, which stands for Kisan Se Kitchen Tak, as an IT lead. Bindu ma'am has an inspiring personality and believes in tackling all life challenges with courage and a constant smile. We are glad to have you as an organizer, ma'am. Thank you to all of you. Thank you to all our panelists for agreeing to be a part of such an important discussion. I'm sure all of us will walk away a little wiser today by the end of this discussion. All of you all know, to mark the International Women's Day, NIT Jamshedpur's Alumni Association has organized this panel discussion on the theme NIT Jamshedpur Alumni Association supports women in technology and business. This discussion is based on the idea revolving around how the career of a female engineer gets shaped throughout her journey. We'll hear about how things have evolved from the early 1980s to the 2020s. A lot of female students and alumni have questions around what streams to pursue, what careers to take, and how to face challenges both on the personal and professional front. Today, we'll try to find answers to all such questions and more. So, audience, especially my female seniors and juniors, brace yourselves, adjust your earphones, and get ready, for you might find some interesting answers to your burning questions here today. And if not answers, you'll certainly find inspiration as you hear the marvelous journeys of our amazing alumni. They'll talk about their journeys right from the day they stepped out of the gates of NIT Jamshedpur. I hope we have an amazing, insightful discussion. Handing over to Mike to Tanvi now to take it forward.
Good evening to one and all. So without further ado, I would like to begin the discussion. First of all, we would like to hear from our panelists how their journey has been so far and what role do they think RIT or NIT has played in their career. We will start this question with our senior most panelist, Vasudha ma'am, to share her views on the same.
Sure. Thank you, Tanvi. Thank you, Riya and Bindu, for inviting me to this panel. I think it's a very inspiring and highly qualified young alumni that I share this panel with. I almost feel ancient in this group. I am from the 89 batch, whilst there were women engineers in RIT from much earlier, but 88 batch was when a new girls' hostel was built, and ours was the second batch where girls joined RIT in much larger numbers than previous years. Post my engineering, I think I was pretty clear that I would like to pursue a corporate career. So I went on to do an MBA. I went to the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, Delhi, and completed my MBA. I joined ITC Limited in its packaging business. And that is where I spent a good 25 years building my corporate career. Mine was a B2B techno-commercial role in international sales. And I think that the strong technical founding of an engineering degree did help me in this role. As Bindu mentioned, mine was a very male-dominated area, the world of tobacco, the world of tobacco packaging itself is an industry where you, at least in those days, I was probably the only woman manager in my business. and amongst the very few in the global tobacco industry. But this was definitely a plus because it helped me get noticed, remembered easily by clients, and it had its perks as well. I got to travel extensively in global sales. I traveled to more than 27 countries, and I really enjoyed what I did. Last year in 2021, I made a transition out of the corporate world in my endeavor to find more meaningful roles in the next phase of my career. And I have joined IIT Madras in its corporate relations as Vice President for fundraising and CSR. My journey so far has been very fulfilling and gratifying. I was happy doing what I did at ITC as well as now. I would say that there are times that it did feel a bit lonely as a woman in the workplace. I missed the camaraderie of other women at work, and at such times I would miss the company of women. It is also hard at times. There is no denying that we as women constantly feel this need to prove and justify ourselves. We would like to be superwomen and walk the tightrope between home and work, and over years, and this is not easy. We make it hard for ourselves many a time. As regards the role of RIT, I think RIT was a very founding place which exposed us to very vast diversity of demographies across India. We had people coming from all, as an RIT, as a regional engineering college, we had people coming from all states. And this gave us, a very good potpourri of the kind of people that we later go on to meet across life. I think exposure to all kinds of people gave me a lot of tips on people management, team management, and leadership, which looking back, I think that foundation was laid at engineering. I think also the ability to handle adversity. It was not an easy place. I still don't think it's easy. And way back in 1989, it wasn't easy. Our first year was filled with all kinds of challenges. We had 2 cyanidized. We were sent home twice within first year. I think the ability to handle any adversity stemmed from there. Later on in life, I traveled extensively to Africa. And when my colleagues would ask me if I was willing to travel to Nigeria, I would say I have been in Bihar and Jharkhand. Where is even the difficulty for doing that? And I think above all, RIT taught me to build a trust ecosystem around me. You distinguish very easily after you've stayed in a place like that, who to trust in, who to believe in, who's of Havabaj, who's the kind of person that you could always bank upon. I made some very good friends for life and built a network from RIT. And I think that is what RIT has given me in my career. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for the wonderful answer. Your experience just shows us how wise you have become and not ancient. And so
Thank you.
Next, I would like to invite Aradhana ma'am to share her views on the same. Ma'am, you are on mute.
Sorry, yeah. My journey in RIT was very easy because I have a lot of friends and I enjoyed a lot. Even during exams, we used to go to movies and all. So I have very good memories of RIT with a lot of friends, both in boys and girls. And I enjoyed every day in life. I did my study, but study was not so serious. But still, we learned a lot. Then when I came out from the RIT, I thought it was a very good college. So it will give me a very wide span of a spectrum. Wherever I will go, I'll get a job and will have a VIP treatment. And luckily I got married and I came to Gujarat. And in Gujarat, the kind of impression of Jharkhand and Bihar was very low. So whenever we go and say that we are from this place, there was a second eye, and anyway, that was I felt. And being a lady, especially, I want a job in my core engineering, and that I was not getting because I can't work in soft floor. Then marketing is challenging being a lady. So getting a good job in a good company becomes very hard for me. I mean, sharing the real journey of my life. So I thought, if not getting a good job, why not to study? And then I did MTech. After MTech, I got a very good break, because I did a research in a company called this Electrical Research and Development Association. There somehow I did such a good project. The director becomes very comfortable with me that this lady can do. If I give some project or challenging job, she will take care. And that was the last day of my project. Instead of saying me that, okay, what next, sir, he told me that he joined next day to our new high power lab. And I was surprised that this is something I'm getting in my bucket, so I should accept it. Then he said, second point, no, you have to work in second shift. Are you ready? 2 to 12. I said, okay, sir, no problem. I'll be ready. Then I joined. Fine. It was very challenging because working in a high power lab, you have to work in soft floor. You have to deal with a lot of, it's a certifying body, so a lot of customers and all. But when it comes to second shift, there was no norms that time that a lady will work in second shift. Now that's a challenge. And I said, okay, no problem. From my side, no problem. You decide what you want to do. So for me, they taken a special permission, and then they allow me to work in second shift. And that was a challenge, being a mother, being a a lady also, how to travel in night, doing all that. But somehow I did it. And that journey of life in the first job was very good. I learned a lot because being a lady, I worked with my hand. I did a lot of things, learned, and I never think that I am a lady, I should get advantage. Whatever job was assigned, I did by myself. Even on Sundays, we used to come for the research project. That is how I got these awards from Narendra Modi, because we don't have a spare time to do research. So on Sunday, half day, we used to work for the research project and do the research and get the result. All those no kind of assignment, which is time based and you have to complete. And I never thought that I got a daughter or got a home and how to manage. And because my director always say that you have only 24 hours, and decided that your company peon is also 24 hours and I'm also 20. You want to be in which category? And you have to manage the time. Don't tell me that you don't have time because you are a lady and you have this work. That is how you have to manage, and you have to balance and take the help of society or whatever, the family. And I did it. And he is still my mentor, and I respect him. Then after 12 years, I joined a multinational company, which is US based, and that was exposure throughout the world. I travel a lot alone. That was a very good experience, traveling alone, and I seeing a lot of kind of uncertainty, where you don't know that what will happen. First time you are doing it, you are missing your flight. You are having a taxi, being a lady, where you don't know anyone, you don't know the languages. I travel a lot, America, Norway, Dubai. So half of the world I traveled in this 6 to 7 years of job span. So that gives me a different feeling. And then again, it was a huge traveling. That means out of 30 days, I was traveling for 25 days. Only 5 days I am at home. I'm seeing my daughter getting grown, but don't have time to see every day. So that was the guilt inside me, that what I'm doing with my life. But somehow I thought that someday will come. I'll have both the work and life balance, and that day come. Because after 7 or 8 years of such type of working profile, I thought now it's enough. I should take a break and just become a consultant in the power sector and work like that. So when I decided to just have that career of just consultant and decide with your own pace what you want to do, suddenly something happens, and no, it's an industry, and I started a company where I have having now 150 engineers who is working for me. But now there is no regret, no guilt, because now I have a time for my family, my daughter. I can give her 24 hours if she needs. She's helping me in my work, and she I think she did, she admired me, she respect me. So all that guilt gone. And I know that hard work always pay. And now I'm a very happy soul. I don't have any issues. And every path has a some kind of hurdles, but be strong and pass those hurdles. That is from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for this inspiring answer. I'm sure everyone from our batch has taken the precious message of accepting challenges and being open to opportunities. So thank you, ma'am. And next, I would like to invite Smita ma'am to answer the same, to share her experience.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. So thank you so much for this opportunity and inviting me to be here. And there are a lot means all the seniors who are here, they are very successful and they are the motivation and inspiration for us. And we have a long way to go. Seeing their profile and all, I feel that we have a very long way to go. So to start with about my journey, so I'm from a very humble background where my father was a professor and mother chose to be a housewife so that she can take care of three of us nicely. And that is what paid off. And we all three are
तो
very
मेरे को तो यही
successful.
देखना मिलेगा ना, मेरे को तो
Uh,
यहाँ देखना मिलेगा ना कैमरे में.
we all are very successful in our careers now. So I work for DRDO. My sister, she is also from NIT and she's also a practice head. And my brother, he is the orthopedic spine surgeon in Jharkhand, Bihar. So doing all his studies, and in US, he chose to come back to our parents because of the moral values and ethics what we got for our parents. And after doing my studies in Ranchi, I chose to be in Jamshedpur. Although I could have got into any NIT because of my rank there, but I chose to be near to my hometown because I was the first girl to come out from my family to leave the city and go for higher studies. So being the first engineer from my family, so I chose to be in Jamshedpur. And after completing my graduation there, BTech in computer science through campus, I got selected into DRDO. And DRDO was not like I just accidentally got there. It was my dream to go there and work as a scientist to do something for my country. And I chose to be there. And with God's grace and my hard work paid off. And I went to DRDO. And there I had an option to work with the Center for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics. And in the initial days of my career only, I was assigned in such a project that I had to travel a lot. I had to deal with a lot of people in industry who were very senior at the architect level, and I had to interact with them and travel a lot to all the field locations where with very limited resources, because that time even in armed forces you don't have lady officers. So starting from the issues like you don't have a toilet for a lady there, to all other problems, you can just think about that what was the situation. And then but okay, it was nice because I had a good support from my male colleagues there, the seniors, as well as my whoever my peers, and from seniors also. And I never was differentiated because I'm a lady there, because I chose not to be differentiated. Because what a male counterpart is doing, the same thing I also, if I'm doing, then nobody will differentiate you. If I start making excuse being a girl, then all those differentiation and all starts coming. So I never thought that I am being differentiated there because being a lady. So that was the one point. And then career was good. I was very passionate about what I was doing because we had a lot of freedom choices to make there. And life was good. Challenges started coming because once you get married and you have kids, and then from a very passionate scientist, you have to take care of your kids and your family. Those becomes your priority. So sometimes you have to have the choices between them, and I chose. So wherever it was required, and I'm very fortunate and very lucky that I have got very good mentors and very good seniors who are there in my office, who are very good friends and senior to me, who guided me at all the points of time where I needed their support. Especially my ex-director, she is my mentor still. And because of her, today I have had the courage to start my MTech, which I did after 19 years of my service, because I couldn't do earlier. And so it is a message to everybody that, okay, at 40 plus also, you can start doing a full-time MTech and you can be the topper there. Okay. And because I was the topper and doing good, they offered me for the integrated PhD program. And because all the support from again the office office and everybody, I again enrolled for my integrated PhD now, and I am doing good. And to talk about RIT as a enabler for my success was that RIT gave us a platform where we were very independent, because coming from a background where a girl who has always studied in a girls' school and where father used to drop, pick up from schools, tuitions everywhere, we had to go and stand our own feet there. We have to fight for our rights. And the fight was not again because being a girl, because we were minority there, just 20 of us in a batch and almost 90 to 100 in thousands. So that was the challenge, that for every step we had to fight. We had to think that how we have to survive the odd situations, everything were there. But the thing that we were independent, we can do whatever we wanted to do there, starting from going out to watching a movie with friends, dancing to our means night birthday nights and all. Dancing means whatever fun joy we have had, we never thought of about last 18 years where we were just studying. All those things we fulfilled in those 4 years, and it was very exciting years. And I always want, if given a chance, I would definitely go back and again go to RIT only for my studies those 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the insightful answer. There is no age for studying, and you proved it with your experience that you did MTech at 40 and are still pursuing your PhD. So it was very inspiring. I thank you. And next, I would like to invite Vani ma'am to share her experience with us.
Yeah. Thank you, Tanvi. At the outset, I would like to thank all the organizers for having me here. First of all, my sincere gratitude to my alma mater, RIT Jamshedpur. I would say that I am standing here because of RIT Jamshedpur. You know, the career, the professional career, the background that I have got from RIT Jamshedpur, it gave me a ground to dream, you know, to dream something. And I'm a metallurgist by profession, so we did not get a job. So we would be standing in the courtyard when all our batchmates who were electronics, electrical, computer and all, they would be getting jobs, and we would be congratulating, and we would speak among ourselves, metallurgist friends, that "Arey yaar, hamara job kab lagega?" But I would say that it's good that it didn't happen. We did not get a job there. And I went for my MTech to IIT Roorkee. And in the same time, I got selected for BARC. And only 100 students, 100 people are selected. There's no reservation. And I really felt that, and you know, in our time, we had 30 marks plus we would be given to enter engineering. So always at the back of the mind, we would be thinking, okay, 30 marks, everybody would be saying that. So when I got into this BARC, I thought that, okay, now nobody will say anything. So, and one more thing, that I grew up with two of my elder brothers. So engineering was not a choice, but I just followed what my brothers did. So my parents were both in medical profession, and the brothers decided that they would not study medical, but they will go for engineering. So I also took up engineering. They learned tabla, so I also learned tabla. Whatever they did, I would follow them. So at home, we never had that feeling that, you know, I am different from my brothers. So that's how I grew up. So when I came to RIT, I felt that it was totally different environment. Like, I would say rather harsh environment, where you are learning so many things. We are just left on our own, like from a truly pampered place at Ranchi, and with my elder brothers and father and everybody, so good. So when we go to this college, it's a totally different experience over there. You have to take your own decisions, right or wrong. You have to take your own decisions. You are responsible for whatever you do. So we become more responsible. And the ethics that we are taught at home, that comes into picture. And okay, so after BTech, then I was fortunate that I got selected in BARC, and then I completed my MTech and then PhD in parallel with my job. This postdoc at University of Michigan was another very good experience. It gave all the exposures. Even in the job, I never felt that, there is a difference between a woman and a man. I just come to a conclusion that you have to just strive hard. You have to, it's all in the mind. So if you think that there is a difference, if you can do it, means you can do it. Nothing is impossible. This is what. So, and yeah, we should learn. As a woman, I would say that, we should learn asset and time management. That's what is my life's lesson that I have learned. Because this journey was not simple for me coming to this level. It wasn't simple, I would say. It consisted of so many failures, successes. And we should learn both, we should accept both. And then we should, because it's a learning process. So I'm happy with my life. I'm very content with whatever I have done or achieved. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for that very inspiring answer. And I completely agree with you in the fact that NIT helps us in shaping our identities. Before coming to NIT, we were kids, but now we have become very responsible and grown up. So, and also thank you for your wonderful, inspiring message at the end of your answer. And I would like to conclude this question with our youngest panelist, Dr. Shreya Sandhya ma'am.
Thank you, Tanvi. And thank you, Bindu ma'am, for the introduction. Before, I would like to extend my gratitude to the organizers and for having me in this panel with these amazing seniors who are so inspiring for me. And hello and welcome to everyone joining in through YouTube. So my journey has been relatively shorter compared to everyone here. I'm from Dhanbad and I studied in a girls' school, but the atmosphere was very open and we were taught to be more independent. But when I came to NIT Jamshedpur for electrical and electronics engineering, compared to the 21st century that we were entering in, I felt there were a lot of restrictions being a woman there. Like the first culture shock was having so many rules and regulations in every aspect of life for just being a girl. We were not allowed to go out after a certain time and stuff like that. However, our whole batch of 45 girls were very close-knit and we always supported each other in whether it was fests or sports or clubs, whatever it was, we always stood for each other. So we formed really a strong bond over there. And those friendships will stay forever. As I mentioned, I was studying electrical and electronics engineering, but I realized very soon that I did not want to work in the power sector. So I started like taking lectures, online lectures, and developing skills like participating in robotics competitions and etc. However, in the girls' hostel, there was not proper internet or Wi-Fi, while the boys' hostel, they had this DC network to play games and stuff. So I would ask my friends there in the boys' hostel to get me like lectures downloaded from the internet and then transfer it to my hard drive. So it was fun. And yeah, definitely it was hard, but we always found a solution to make it work. And those 4 years definitely made me a very strong woman, both physically and emotionally, and also like someone who can stand up for herself and also for something that's right and protest for what's wrong if you see it. So after my BTech, I went on to study abroad and I have studied and worked in many different countries like France, Luxembourg, Germany, Russia, and currently I'm in Japan. So I'm an assistant professor. I just joined last year in space robotics. And all these years, the last 8 years, I have been in different countries with very different cultures and very different languages, which of course I haven't learned all the languages, but it was easy to adjust because in those 4 years, I met so many people from at NIT. I met so many people from around India. And that's how I
understood how to, you know, be holistic, how to understand the different perspectives of different people from around different cultures. And now when I work with international teams, I can really implement what I have learned in those 4 years. And definitely some of the professors at NIT, they were very kind to me, and they provided me recommendation letters when I wanted to apply abroad, and they are still in contact with me. And it's amazing that they supported me when I was, I didn't know if I was doing the right thing or not. So yeah, I for now I'm very satisfied with my journey so far, and I'll always be grateful to NIT for that.
Thank you, ma'am, for that answer. Your answer has really made me appreciate the environment that we have in our college. And so we conclude this question and we move on to the next question, which is again open to all the panelists. So, what, according to you, were the toughest challenges you faced in your career path, and how did you overcome the same? And with in this question, I would like to begin with Aradhana, ma'am.
Yeah. So when I started thinking that this is enough and I want to do something my own and have a relaxed life, and just the idea I'll be a consultant, and somehow it landed. No, this is a time we should start a company, because this is the right time to have a growth. So when I was in last job, I was at the peak of the career, where staying in 5-star hotel or taking any flight or car or anything, that was a lifestyle. Okay, so we were enjoying everything, and now when I was at own, everything comes with a kind of price. And then I was thinking, what was my lifestyle that time? What was my pride that time? And now how to manage that? How to balance that? So I was a lady who will never give up. So I taken an idea, let us work. So I started working as a consulting professional in different international this kind of forum and all. So I used to get paid for that. And if you believe me, it's literally I was working 20 to 21 hours, because I was working in the night to earn the money and have such consultancy. In the daytime, I was running the my company show. So I did it for 2 years like that, just to manage the show. And I taken an oath that I'll not take any loan or something like that, which is a headache. It's like a headache on my this. And somehow it works. It takes time, but I just decided I'll do it. And it's like you're working, you're doing a job, a full-time job, and you're managing a company. These two roles I taken as a challenge for 2-3 years. That was a very tough period of my life, but I never thought back that my decision was not good. Let us break it, and just they give a thinking that no, let us go back and join the company. No, I decided, and now the time is that again I'm at the same level, maybe more than that, because I'm representing more forums, I'm more this. So that was a kind of turning back and seeing the life, and that was a challenge. That's all, and gone through that.
Thank you, ma'am, for the insightful answer. And next, I would like to invite Vasudha, ma'am, to share her views.
Thank you, Tanvi. I think this topic of tough challenges is quite cliched, and I think enough women across the world have said and discussed a lot about it. I think structurally, the path of a woman in her career, the trajectory is such that just about you finish your master's, you settle 3-4 years into the job, you're ready to get promoted, get into middle management, and that's when you're also into the biological clock that you need to look into child rearing. So it is a challenge that there is no point questioning why is there challenge. It is there. And the international statistics of men and women, and their rise in their career path is such that it's almost equal when we start, and then the first blip happens at this point of when you want to have your first child, and there is a dip. Women leave the workforce or take a break, and then by the time you want to come back, your peers have moved on. The industry has rapidly changed a lot. You need to reskill. Then you need to play some very fast running to catch up with the others. I think this isn't one challenge. And I would like to say that there is no one watershed moment saying this is a challenge in our life. It is, I would say, a daily challenge, a daily struggle. It involves balancing two people's careers. We all have spouses who have, careers and have their own ambitions. So it involves moments like who will change location, if there is a transfer, who will manage the baby, who will escort a sick parent to hospital, who will do the, attending the parent-teacher meeting. I think every day is a challenge. And, it's balancing that tightrope and walking through this challenge, which we all learn to navigate. I think it is made easier only by making sure that you build a village of support. And, for me, a supportive spouse, a husband who wanted my career as badly as his own, he's a banker, parents who goaded me on and ensured they were there to support me, in-laws who stood by me and said, go out there and do what it is, travel, we are there to support. Your own child who says, go, I will manage, and supportive childcare and house help. I think building this ecosystem around you is the way to navigate through this challenge. And that's on the balancing home and career front. The other challenge that I would say is significantly felt at work, which I felt in the corporate life, is that you need to make the goalpost equitable. And, there are subtle and not so subtle times where you feel, it is not a level playing field, that there are some roles which it is just thought that you as a woman is not interested. You are not asked whether you would like to be a factory head because it's just assumed that you cannot. So the challenge of making that goalpost in the career journey equitable is the other challenge that I would mention. And I think the way to overcome that is to build very strong networks, mentors, colleagues across the organization who are going to stand by you, who are going to let you know what is happening, not limit your communication channels only to your manager or your skip level manager, but to build, again, very much like the village of ecosystem at home, to build one network in the workplace which will stand by you. And I think this was my key way of overcoming challenges at both domains.
Thank you, ma'am. This was truly an eye-opener to the challenges women face in the corporate world and how to overcome them. And very truly said that every day is a challenge and we move on forward one day at a time. So thank you, ma'am. And next, I would like to invite Shreya ma'am to answer about her toughest challenges.
Thank you, Tanvi. So I have had my fair share of challenges in my academic path so far. Just after graduation from NIT, so I decided not to sit for campus placements because I was sure I don't want to get into the power sector and I didn't want to get into the IT or corporate sectors. And we didn't have any PSUs or DRDO coming for campus placements that year. So I was like, no, I want to pursue something related to space studies. And so I decided to apply for scholarships and masters abroad. And definitely, fortunately, I got the scholarships, but it was a very tough call for both myself and also for my parents to let me go abroad all alone, knowing nothing about the field or knowing We didn't know anyone who had pursued this path. So it was definitely very challenging. And just being alone in a different country itself is so intimidating. However, I made friends over there. I was fortunate to get some mentors and seniors there as well who could help me and also settle down. And yeah, that was a major challenge. And of course, I saw ever since then, I have been solving challenges every day for rockets and satellites and robots for space. And also the challenge of dealing with different perspectives from different backgrounds, culture, generations of these international teams. So that's something very challenging. And the additional challenge of being a woman is this is not just a problem in India, but I have been in very different environments in different countries, and the gender ratio is really screwed up everywhere. So there's, especially in the aerospace industry, there's one woman for every 5 men. So it's very difficult and very challenging to prove yourself. That is an extra effort. And in a panel discussion or in a round table, you really have to be heard and prove yourself and be stronger than the others, than your male counterparts. So these are definitely challenging, but I think I have got used to it, and I have made my way through it and made a mark in this field. So I would continue doing it, and I have a very long path ahead.
A very inspiring answer, ma'am. Thank you for that answer. So next, I would like to invite Smita ma'am to share her views.
So when we talk about challenges, I think being born as a girl only, your challenges starts from there itself. But there, I did not do anything to overcome that challenge, because by God's grace and fortunately, I was there in a family, and especially my parents, who treated girls equally. I can say better than the boys and my brothers there. So the only thing what we were supposed to do when we were growing up was to study hard and just some recreation time for playing and all. No other household work, being a girl or something, no other pressures, and just given full freedom for to choose our career and to go ahead. And then when you come to RIT, you have a lot of challenges, but we 98 girls, I'm very proud to talk about my batchmates there, that we all were one. And I can just share it, like you take it on a lighter note, that we were called that we would move in college as we were having AK-47 with us. So that all was a thing that helped us to overcome whatever challenges, whatever things were there in RIT. So I cannot say that we faced a lot of things there. And when you come to a career like DRDO, when you're very passionate about your work and other things, and then you start your family, and then small challenges come. Initially, when my elder daughter was born, I have a lot of support from my mom. I could leave her there, she could come, and she helped me a lot. The support system, what Vasudha ma'am was also talking about. So I had a very good support. But the major challenge came when my second daughter was born, and I was almost away from office for almost 1.5, 2 years time. So on and off type of thing. And that time I had a feeling that I am into a government job, which is very secure. So even if I can take it little lightly, not being that aggressive, what already I am, so I can just take it lightly, and still I'll be paid the salary, and I can just take it lightly for some time till my kid grows. And I was not ready to take any responsible positions and all, and I just wanted to just work as a team member and just spend my those 2-3 years. But I'm again thankful to my mentor, my director, that she called me and she told me one day that, Smita, you have two options: either you take up this leadership role, or you just sit at home and do babysitting. And seeing your career, and she knew that I had those things sparkling things inside, and I told, okay, let me just try it. And with very heavy heart I tried, and with all the support system what was provided to me from the office side, from home side, especially my husband, he supported me a lot. And in that time I could manage it. And because of her inspiration, and because of her insisting, I could I could pursue my MTech also. So after finishing that important project, then immediately she asked me to allow for the apply for this MTech program. And with again, I thought, okay, now my job is done. Whatever she asked me, I had done. So now I can again have a relaxed life in DRDO. But again, she never left me, and she told me now it is a time that you have to start thinking about your further studies, because the team you are leading is all are MTech and PhD. So being just a graduate, you cannot just mentor them. So you have to think about the things that what future projects you are taking, and you have to take responsibility. Being a lab which you're working for, it is related to artificial intelligence. And if you are not well qualified to guide your team, it is not going to work for you. And with that inspiration from a normal software engineer, I landed into a course in MTech, which was data science. And you have your all challenges there. But the career what we moved from, starting from my home to college and everywhere, we were taught that grit, that never give up. So do your best and everything will fall in place. And with God's grace and with all efforts paid off, and now not only MTech, I'm pursuing my PhD also. So that is what the challenge. So make a good support system. And again, I'll be very thankful to my mother-in-law also, because she has brought up my husband in such a way that he is so caring. And like Vasudha ma'am was telling, that he supports me, like his career is important and he thinks that my career is also important. And he has always given me space, and he has taken a lot of responsibility at home so that I can do better. So with all this, I could overcome all the challenges, and I'm very thankful that I have a very good family, a very good friends, and a lot of good mentors and seniors at office to guide me. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Work-life balance is in fact the biggest challenge for any woman, and we are very inspired by your never give up attitude. So thank you for that. And next, I would like to invite Vani ma'am to share her views.
Yeah, thank you, Tanvi. I think most of the people have already covered most of the things, so they have made my life simpler. But just few note I would like to add here, that it's true that, being a woman scientist, being a technocrat, rather, a woman in technology. So we all face different challenges at different levels, different phases of life. And especially, I would like to talk about the first 5 golden period of one's life, from both personal and official perspective, where most of the women I see that, they think of when they, they have to balance both, and they are also inexperienced, and they have to fulfill so many milestones that either they put for themselves, like rather we put for ourselves, or the society does. And it's sometimes it's very difficult to make the choices. And many women choose to, when they have the first kid or something, they become so engrossed in their child rearing and the family, new family and all that. I have seen them talking so much in corridors, office corridors, about their kids and about the day-to-day problems that they are facing. I feel that it's not necessary. As I said, that it's everything is in the mind. So, and I would also say that I have learned by my own experiences. So many of the things I would tell you is really firsthand, which I learned through mistakes and, through people around me and all. So what I feel that the milestones that you put, those should be realistic. Those should be really realistic milestones. They can be short-term goals and long-term goals. So, for example, now in the first 5 years, I used to feel very guilty for leaving my newborn behind for work. And I would really feel very bad that why am I leaving her and all. But then over the years, I got the fruit of these emotional sacrifices, I would say, from both my side, my family, and the children also. So when I see that my daughter says that I'm an inspiration for her, when my younger women colleagues, they look upon me for advice. So that is the fruit of my commitment and hard work. They are seeing me managing and balancing, multitasking, and not leaving any loose string behind, So I feel that, it's all in the mind, and we have to accept the challenges and not give up on any role that is given to us. So in career also, for example, I learned again by experiences, I would say, that being a North Indian, when I settled in South India, so it was a bit of a cultural shock for me. Male counterparts, they would not talk to me initially. For what reason? Maybe they would feel some inhibition in talking to me. So I would not be asked to stay back for some service work or some installation work and all. So I was missing a lot of things over there because I was not of course, those are also very important experiences. So then I have to offer myself. I started going beyond my own limits, and I would offer that, okay, I would help. And then technically also, I tried to learn more things than my other colleagues and try to offer them help wherever I could. So those things slowly, and in a big organization like this, you don't, you cannot be always fortunate to have mentors. So you make mistakes, you understand, you learn, and I think it's a very good experience. I would say that, it's always okay to learn through your own experiences. Then you are more confident. Yeah. And one more thing I would like to add here, I should not miss this. I was really very fortunate to have a very, very supportive spouse who is also a scientist in IGCAR itself. And my mother-in-law, father-in-law, parents I had lost in a very early age, like immediately after my marriage. But they were really, that support system that I needed was beyond compare. They always stood by me. And my husband also wants me to be, independent, take all my decisions on my own. So all these factors, very great friend circle around me. Kalpakkam is a place where, families are so closely knitted. They are like families, more than friends. They are like families. So, and it's both ways, I have to give, then only I can expect anything else, like help or anything from them. So slowly, as Vasudha ma'am indicated, that we have to also develop that, support system around us. So it's both ways, give and take. Yeah. Thank you, Tanvi.
Thank you, ma'am, for that wonderful and emotional answer. And we conclude our second question, and I would like to hand over now to Ria, ma'am.
Thank you, Tanvi. I'll take it from here. So the next question might be a cliched question, and some parts of it have already been answered in the two questions that we put forward. But I would still like to raise it for people who are wanting to hear this. In your journey so far, did you ever face the dilemma to make a choice between work and home? And if yes, how did you find your balance? Who better to answer this question than Bindu ma'am herself, who consciously made a choice to choose one at one point in her career? Bindu ma'am, what do you have to add to this?
Thank you, Ria. Actually, at certain point in life, even personal life or in career also, it's very natural to fall into such dilemma that what to choose. It's just that you choose one and be happy and proud of your decision. But only thing I'll say that managing home is equally challenging. It's not that easy. And still you have scope to utilize your energy, your talents in many directions if you want to use, which I keep doing whenever I get any opportunity, like getting involved in some social cause or becoming part of any startups. And not to miss joining NITJAA is also one such opportunity I got to serve as a GB member, to use my energy in something very positive and challenging equally. I request again all of you to register on NITJAA and contribute to some or other way, contribute in some or other way, and not to miss, become a life member. Thank you.
Thank you, Bindu ma'am. We can have another perspective on this question from Vani ma'am.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Ria. Yeah, I agree with all of you that, the dilemma is quite natural in each woman's path because of the dual and equally important role that she has to play. So I was also not an exception. So in my case, the dilemma was more of an evolving process. I see them more as a wish to do something better and more meaningful in both career and on home front. I would never quit or give up on any of my roles, as I feel that I'm an example for both my children and my junior colleagues who look upon me. So to have control on the dilemmas, what did I do? I started sensing closely the need of the art. I started sensing the environment around myself, and started to learn that what is its need. Where am I needed most? Whether at home or in office. And it's a full package. It's not that, you have to excel at in the same time in all fields. It doesn't matter if for some time if you have to take a back seat, because finally you will prove yourself because you are working hard and you are loyal to your commitments. Okay, so to have this control over my dilemma, what I did that I started sensing my where am I required the most. Okay, and then started to learn to prioritize things, to set up, as I said in my previous answer, that short-term goal and long-term goals, both at home and at office, to demarcate between what is important, what is not so important. And with time, I started to learn that how to master this time and asset management. Asset management is not materialistic only. It also includes my own well-being, okay, to feel good. So I would listen to my body clock. I would listen to the needs around me, even in office. I'll give you a very simple example. So for example, if I'm automating my kitchen, if I have a dishwasher, if I take domestic helps as much as I want, I'm freeing my time from these things which others can do also. I need not cook myself. But then in this process, what am I doing? I'm freeing a lot of time. And that time is so important. I can spend that time more usefully with my family. I can also use that time for reading, for developing my own new skills. So, and again, at work, colleagues are your assets. So you have to understand that emotional intelligence has to be there to understand that what is individuals' capabilities and limitations. And accordingly, I have to execute the project plans. So I feel we have to be sensitive enough for the environment in which we are. That is most important, because it's like, it's like a service condition of a component. So you have to first, to be able to use a component during service, you have to understand what is the service condition, whether it is harsh or it is okay. And accordingly, you have to switch gears. That is what is important. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Anima.
I hope it's not too much.
No, ma'am, not at all. You actually gave us a framework of finding priorities and then delegating what is not necessary or what can be done by someone else. Thank you, ma'am. Shreya, ma'am, I believe even you have something to add to this question. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so although I'm novice and I haven't had this opportunity to choose between career and life, I would like to add in here that I have seen my mother as a working woman all throughout my life. And when she had these night shifts or long shifts, she would leave me and my brother at the neighbor's home. And we turned out completely fine and I guess like good human beings. So, and we still call our neighbor auntie as Ma, and my mom is perfectly fine with it. So what I wanted to say is like it's this choice between career and family doesn't have to be balanced. It's okay if it sometimes is disbalanced. And like from our generation is more and more like more independent, and the modern society is evolving. So I'm hoping like in our generation we are not given this choice, and just to women but also to men, because there are opportunities for paternal leave and many other leaves even for men. So if this choice is given to us, we should prioritize our health and our happiness over balancing career and family. Only then we can take care of both sides. So that's what I just wanted to add in this.
Thank you, Shreya, ma'am. I completely agree with you. Moving on to the next question. So it's open for all, and I would be taking each one of you one by one. What have been your key takeaways from your career so far that you would want to impart to your juniors listening very, very patiently to you? And we can begin with Vasudha ma'am.
Yeah. Thanks. Being the oldest in the group, I don't want all the youngsters out there to think, this is some Gyan giving session. But if I were to look at the key takeaways from my career, one of them I already spoke about, which is building networks of people across levels at the organization. Being aware that there are conversations which you need to have across the organization in order to build your career. And I think on this front, RIT played a very founding role. Networking was one thing that, whether we did studies well or not, I think we networked very well at RIT. I would look, admirably at Arvind Mishra, boss of 86 batch as an example. I think over the years, he taught us all what networking was all about. Even recently, I called upon him when I joined IIT in January and I wanted to reach somebody in a company. It takes one call to call him and say, boss, do you know somebody in that company? And he connects and the work gets done. So that's very important. And I think beyond networking, being in touch with women across organizations, because somewhere you should not, you may be told in your organization that this is what I'm doing for you as a woman and it is a privilege. Well, no, it's not. And you need to be informed across, the lives of women everywhere to know what is your right and, ask for it. So I think that's a very important takeaway. The second I would say is to look after yourself. I think in the life stages of career building, there's career, there's family, there's children. I think the person with whom we do the most samjhauta, if I would call it in Hindi, is ourselves. And I think that does affect us physically and mentally. So please, make it a habit to devote time for yourself, even if it's just a half hour every day to do things which give you peace and joy, and make that a very life habit. And the third advice takeaway that I would give to students out there who are still in college is that don't worry about grades. It doesn't matter in life. Build life skills. That's what will take you a much longer way in life. Learn to work with people and team, and that's way more fruitful. Play sports. I don't think we had the opportunity when we were there to play sports as girls, and I'm glad to hear from the others that there is now. You learn so much more about team building and networking from a sport than you would do in academics. So please enjoy yourself and build on these life skills. Those are my takeaways.
Thank you, Vasudha ma'am. So I'll just summarize them quickly. First was build your network. Second was keep yourself at the top no matter what. And finally, build life skills and not just study. Thank you, ma'am, for your takeaways. We'll next move on to Aradhana ma'am. Ma'am, your takeaways.
The first thing that you take a decision in your life when you are in dilemma, take a bold decision, be confident about that. Like suppose we are discussing about being a mother and somebody just leave the job and say that, okay, I can't do it. Okay. Maybe your circumstances, your support system is not enough and not allowing you to do the job. Fine. Utilize that time maximum to upgrade your skill, do some online courses, do masters, do PhD, or do some courses which is of your like, and always plan your career ahead that, okay, my kid is small now, but maybe after 5 years, I'll have a very, very better career, and you start doing some MTech, PhD, or some master classes, and use your time, because being at home with your kid, this is the thing which is very much possible. I always say to my friends or the colleagues at that time also, okay, never regret. You got a very great opportunity. You utilize that and be a better person, be a better qualified person, and do that. So that is what I'll suggest to young engineer. Maybe everyone doesn't have very good support. Sometimes you have to take back, but don't think you're taking back. You're going ahead more and more because you're getting an opportunity, additional opportunity to update your skill. Second thing, as Vasudha ma'am said, self-love. That is very important because once you are a happy soul, you are a human being, which you know about yourself, what is your strength, what is your weakness, and you be content with yourself. Give time for some yoga, some exercise, a good lifestyle. Then only you can make your family happy, your kids happy, your colleagues happy, and you can do very good job. So never ignore yourself. That is very important. Third is, don't try to be a perfectionist in every stream of life. That means my home should be perfect, my job should be perfect, my relations should be perfect. Take one or two and lead that. Suppose you want to be at your career top, then take that lead at top, and others are at back, and never try to do everything 100%. Otherwise you'll be messed up, you'll be confused, and you'll think, no, something is missing in life. Don't do that. Don't regret. You prioritize that what is best you do, and then the second, third, like that you do. That's all.
Thank you, Aradhana ma'am. So the key takeaways from you were: take bold decisions as per your circumstances, love yourself, and most importantly, know that good enough is good enough. You don't need to be a perfectionist. Thank you, ma'am.
Very
Moving
much.
on to Vani ma'am. Ma'am, your big lessons from your career that you want to impart.
Okay, I have few things. One thing, I agree with whatever they have said. I will just try to add on if I can. Of course, you should upgrade your skills when you have free time. Okay, so don't be content. You don't be content of what you have achieved, because if you are content, then there is no progress. And it's okay to fail. Okay, it's okay to fail. So people should know to accept both failure and success. So usually to our kids, we don't teach them that, okay, how everybody can become first, they can come first in everything. That's not possible, right? So we have to accept whatever we are achieving or not achieving is also okay. Everything is okay. So because, life is a total package, I say. It's a total package where all roles are important, equally important. So you should, again, I'm repeating here, that learn to do time management and asset management. Asset management involves everything. Okay. And again, sense the environment around you very well, because what is the need of the art? That environment is yourself also. If you are not well, don't work, take leave, set a reset button, take pause. It's okay. And yeah, that's it. Be happy.
Oh, thank you, ma'am.
Whatever
That
you
is
do. Yeah.
universal, goes for everyone.
Yeah.
Moving on to Smita ma'am. Ma'am, your takeaways.
Yeah. So I think whatever takeaways everybody has spoken about, and especially coming from the experienced seniors, I think that's it. So I'll just want to put from my perspective what Vani ma'am was talking about, that it's okay to be aggressive in office and reach your whatever success heights you want to achieve. But sometimes it is okay to let go things, and that will be decided based on the priority. So there is some difference between what is important and what is urgent. So urgent means it has to be done because it will become a short-term thing for you. So again, inspired from ma'am only, that long-term things will be what is important. And in important things, first thing is your health, your happiness. Then that happiness and your health, whatever you are doing, that comes to your family. And what comes to your family, if they are happy, they are satisfied, then that goes to your office also. Because most of the time we bring office stuff to home, but I feel that home stuff should go to office, and they should see that you are a happy being, and then only people will try to follow you, they'll try to talk to you. So you have to become that center of attraction or center of gravity where people come and talk to you, they're happy talking to you. Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk. And one more thing I'll talk, that life is always about choices and decisions. And being a woman, I cannot say, or it should not be taken like, again, choices will be given to you in your dowry. You have to create. And that comes with lot of self-determination, lot of effort, and lot of courage, lot of grit. So it should not be it is very easy to say that I want to be financially independent, I want to take these decisions, I want to become my own boss, but it will not come to you. Nobody will give you those choices. You have to create it for yourself. Okay, so that is the one thing which and it is equally true for your male counterpart. They also don't get, like, they are just male, so they will get it. All the choices will be given to them. 90% of them don't get it. So mark my words on that also. And the third part is always about the support system, what we are talking about. So this support system is like, we are very fortunate, especially who are in India, that if the support system is not there, you can always create by paying money. And I have always done it. As long as it is not exceeding my salary, I'm okay to do that, because what I love, going to office, doing things, if I can uh, give it to somebody else, I'm okay. So things which I cannot give it to somebody, I cannot say that, okay, taking care of my kids, loving them, making them a better human being, that I'll not outsource. But the other things I can outsource, and I can take support. Okay. And very one important message I want to convey, and what I have understood, that what is happening to the ladies around is not because of ladies, or not because of you are born as a girl, or because of your physical characteristics or anything. It is just because of the mindset what your society is carrying. I, being a lady, I want my husband to be very supportive, but at the same time, I don't want my son to work. I don't want to do him household chores. So that is not correct, right? So if you want your husband to be supportive, your in-laws to be supportive, you have to become one. So if you're mother to a girl, you have to teach them that you have to become independent. You have to be strong, but at the same time, you have to be humble. You have to have full gratitude. You should also not take things for granted. And if you are mother to a son, you have more responsibility, because on those things only our future generations will have a better life, or not a better life. So I think this is what I just wanted to convey. Thank you, Ria.
Thank you, Smita ma'am. These were not just lessons from your career, these were life lessons for all of us. Thank you, ma'am. We are actually running short of time, so I request the next speakers to kindly take a view of the time. Moving on to Shreya, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Ria. So my three takeaways would be, first is believe in yourself and be honest to your beliefs. So whatever dreams you have, just believe in those, and there's no stopping you. I have like these 3 P's mantra: passion, perseverance, and patience. So be passionate about what you want in life and persevere towards it. Work very hard and be patient and wait for the results. It will definitely come to you. Second takeaway would be, like, even if we believe in ourselves, there are some times when we cannot find a clear path, and that's when you need mentors in life. It could be in your academy or career, or just your friend who can help you take a decision. So definitely look for mentors who can be your friend and understand your situation, and have gone through that. So that really helps. And all of us here told how mentors have been very influential and instrumental in our journeys. My third takeaway is celebrate yourself. Like, be proud of what you are doing. Doesn't matter if it's in the office or at home. Be proud of yourself. Be a role model. Be heard and be seen. Only then you'll be recognized. Like the first female astronaut of America, Dr. Sally Ride, she had famously quoted, "You cannot be what you cannot see." So, like, if we didn't have this panel today, many of the viewers wouldn't know about all of these amazing women out there from NIT, right? So I think that's very important. Be a role model. It can be for anyone. It can be for your son, daughter, your friends, anyone. So just and as you go in your journey, uplift other women, uplift your colleagues, and that would really return back to you. So that's my 3 takeaways.
Thank you, Shreya ma'am. I'm sure all of us would try our best to work on these key points. Coming back to Bindu ma'am, your takeaways from your journey so far.
I think everyone has said mostly everything. 3 small points: be happy with what you do, or else choose to reject or refuse. If you don't like, just reject and refuse. Be honest, whatever you are doing, just be honest and take challenges. It is everywhere. Just take it and find the solutions and move ahead. That's all.
Thank you for keeping it so crisp and short, yet so powerful, ma'am. We have a few questions from the audiences, but due to lack of time, I think we'll be taking just 1 or 2 of them. The first question we have is from Kajal Agarwal. She writes to us, how difficult or easy is it to cope up with new technologies at work? Anyone, if they wish to take up the question, can raise their hand, or Shreya ma'am, would you like to take this question, as you are associated with the most recent developments in technology, the robotics field and aerospace sciences? The question is how difficult or how easy it is to cope up with the new technologies that come in, let's say, as we progress. How do you keep yourself updated with the new technologies that come in your career or in your field?
So yeah, first of all, I would say NIT has made us all engineers, right? So we can do multitasking, and we really have these grasping powers, fast grasping powers. So as we work towards our research or whatever field we are in, we really learn from the people we are working with. We can keep discussing with them, and also of course take the online resources that we have. There are so many online courses and so many degree courses for getting to know more about the upcoming technologies. And I think now it is specifically now it has become very easy and accessible to learn new technologies that are at work. And for me, I have been taking a lot of online courses throughout my career and throughout my academic part, other than what was in my curriculum. And as I teach, now that I'm teaching students and giving courses, I learn more from them. They bring up questions, and then I have to look up for something, and I get to know something new. So that's how I just keep an open mind, and that's how I can learn and cope up with what's advancing in my field.
Keep an open mind, take courses, learn from your peers, juniors. That's your message, ma'am. Thank you. Anyone else would be interested in taking the question?
I think it's better to have a good networking, whatever career you have selected, and that networking help you to know what is new and where to look. And internet is one source, and doing some certification course, or maybe that you have to. If you are working for a company, or you can always opt and suggest this is the new thing, and I want to learn, I want to do. So you always put your demand and your wish that this is what I will do and I'll grow. So when management give the permission, okay, go and do it. So there are ways. Networking is there. You just inform the senior, this is what is my liking, and then through internet or do some certification course. Still I'm doing some certification course, becoming a certified auditor for ISO 5000. So There is no limit of learning. You have to find the source from where you want to do, and that is how it is, through friends, through your colleagues. Possible, possible.
Thank you, Aratna ma'am. I'm sure I'm sure Kajal got her answer. Another question we have is from Ayushi Sinha. She writes in to ask, how do you perceive work from home? Is it better compared to work from office? Or what do you prefer? And you can give in your personal views. It does not have to be what you feel in general. You can give in your personal stories or how has work from home worked out for you?
I think Smita enjoyed that period, so she is the best person to answer.
Yeah,
Sure,
thanks,
Smita ma'am.
Bindu ma'am. So I have shared enough about this to ma'am already. And what I'll say that in DRDO, we never had during pandemic also work from home options. So office was open for us, and but since I had enrolled for my full-time MTech program and the college being online because of pandemic, so by default I landed as a work study from home kind of thing. It was not work from home, but study from home, and it was a good break after my 19 years of career because I'm there at home full time, do things on my choice basis. I'm not rushing early morning because that is the thing which gives you a lot of stress, that you have to go, and especially the culture we have from government, that morning punching time and all becomes very important for you. So no punching time. So that was the great thing, that okay, I can sleep little late also. And all being at home, no rushing for even kids school, for husband's office, and also it was a very relaxing time. And it has actually disturbed my biological clock, that okay, you tend to sleep late, and then because night when kids are asleep, you have your time for your study and things and all. So you adjust your clock like that. So it's okay that you stay a little late awake and do your things, and morning when kids need you, you have time, you cook food for them. So it is good actually. So I really enjoyed, and I think another 5 more months for me, and I'll again go back to office. But it was a nice thing for me, because being a human, when you are trying to juggle with so many things, that ends work from home, because you can put small placeholders for that, and you can actually do lot of thing. So I could do my studies as well as taking care of home. It was a great achievement for me. So I felt that it was good for me.
I think Vani also did, na, work from home.
Yeah, maybe I will. If you want, I can share my experience. You want me to share my experience? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. So in government job, that punching time biometric system and all is there. So it was a nice change actually. First thing, that getting up early morning and no rush for sending to school and office, packing lunch, all those things were not there. But again, if you're too disciplined, that's also a problem. Like we are staying in Chennai, and the office is open. Okay, so during the pandemic also, office was open. So all colleagues were going to office on alternate days, whereas we were at home, all of us who were traveling from Chennai. So almost 200 of us were working from home, supposed to be working from home. So now, we, that guilt feel will start coming after 10 o'clock, that okay, I'm not at work. So what I would do, that in the beginning, before 10 o'clock, I will try to finish all the household work, take a break in afternoon just for an hour, as we would do in office. And usually when we are going to office physically, then by 6 o'clock, 6:30, 7 latest, we will punch out, and we'll come out. And then on the way, like travel for 1 hour, 1.5 hours. So I will not feel anything about office and all that time. But in this case, what it was happening here, that after 7:30, there was no time limit. So the starting time was correct. So, starting time would be 10 o'clock, but closing time there was no limit, because we love research. So, and both of us, me and my husband both, so we would end up discussing research at home, which was bad for kids. But fortunately, the kids were actually, they are also independent now, so they also had their own set of things to do. So a lot of things we all were doing, learning new skills and all. For kids, it was very nice experience, really. Like, I think never in life we will get this 4 months work from home. So it was a good experience. Yeah.
Thank you, Vani ma'am. Thank you for your sneak peek at your work from home life.
Thank you, Priya.
The girls of my generation dream to become women with vision. Tonight, we have borne witness to the success stories of these amazing women, visionaries, who were once girls like us, studying within the walls of our institution. More than anything, their journeys have inspired us to look ahead with hope.
Exactly, Tanvi. I hope all of us watching the panel discussion tonight took home a lesson or a quality that they could imbibe in their lives.
Now let's wind up. I personally know that all the women in our panel have broken the bias at multiple stages and emerged victorious. I wish the same for the younger generations till we reach an era of equality. I take this opportunity to thank all the panelists for their kind patience and for sparing their precious time from their schedule with us. We are thankful to NITJAA also for providing this forum to share same and providing all the backend support. I again sincerely request all to register on NITJAA and become life member. It's an excellent way to give back to our beloved institution, NIT Jamshedpur. You all can support by contributing in many ways. Just reach out to any of the GB member if you are willing to. Special thanks to Aditi, second year student, for lovely posters, my two lovely moderators, Ria and Tanvi, Jeet and Trisurya for back-end support anytime I ask for. I also thank Priyanshu and Sarvesh for their valuable inputs and time. Last but not the least, thank you, Jitendra Boss, for our president, NITJAA, to allow us the way we wanted to do it. We look forward to more such events and interactions. Wishing all of you a very happy International Women's Day in advance. This is us signing off. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.